Most of the expert advice you hear is never, ever take money from your retirement savings. But let's face it, if you really need the money, sometimes you have to. And as Brian and I are about to share with you in this video, there are circumstances when it may make more sense to pull from your 401k than borrowing the money another way, despite the financial risks involved in doing so. So, Brian, most of us know that we can take out a 401k loan up to $50,000 for a down payment on a home, but I don't want to discuss that today. I would like us to talk about other situations that warrant borrowing from your 401k.
There are three possible reasons I want to cover today. And years ago, I might have only suggested the third reason, but with inflation clobbering the average American and rates as high as they are, well, we're in a different time. And that means we have to look at things a little bit differently today.
Absolutely.
So the first one is if you need to pay off high interest debt on credit cards or other high interest loans.
Okay.
Look, credit card debt is going through the roof right now. Actually, household debt across all categories grew by 4.8% from Q3 2022 to Q3 2023, according to the latest stats from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. This includes mortgages, home equity, revolving debt, auto loans, credit cards, student loans, and other consumer lending, such as retail cards.
Eek.
But as you can see from this, credit card debt takes the cake. If you're buried in high interest debt, borrowing from your 401k to pay it off can save you from paying back all that interest because the interest on the 401k loan gets paid back to you. Let's say you have like $30,000 in high interest debt and you're paying 23% interest. That's $6,900 in interest you're actually paying.
Yeah, and good luck ever getting out from underneath that. Yikes.
With everything going up in price, it's almost impossible for a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
Pull out your last credit card statement and see how long it will take you to pay this off. Just paying the minimum monthly payment.
You know what's interesting about, I'm sorry, I got to interrupt you about that. I suggested that to a friend of mine recently. And I was like, just go see, play with online calculators. And she had no idea. I mean, it is a real wake up call. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, they're showing them on the statements now. So, and they're kind of like almost forced to, so they need to.
Yeah. All right.
But
sorry. You were saying about 401k loans.
Yeah. If you were to take out a 401k loan today, it's got to be paid back on average in 5 years. And again, the interest you pay on that 401k loan is paid back to you and back to your retirement account.
Yeah.
The key is to have a solid plan in play to make sure that you can pay back that loan and not get back into any more debt.
Which is critical. Don't get back into it if you're going to borrow it from your 401k.
Yeah, because if you can't pay back the 401k loan in time, it's going to be considered a distribution and you're going to end up paying taxes and possibly penalties on that money if you're under age 59 and a half.
Oof. Well, instead of risking taking a 401k loan, not being able to pay it back, like you just mentioned, why not get a personal loan with a fixed rate and just move over the credit card debt to that?
My question to that would be, what if you don't qualify for a personal loan or the rate is super crappy?
Okay, got it.
With a 401k loan, you're your own bank. And if your plan allows you to take out a loan, there's no qualification needed.
All right. Good point. Thanks for that. What's the next circumstance that might make more sense to take out a 401k loan?
To pay off medical bills.
Okay.
4 in 10 adults currently have debt due to medical or dental bills. And if you look at this chart, 24% have past due bills they're unable to pay.
Wow.
And 21% say they're paying them off over time directly to the provider. And 17% have put their medical bills on credit cards and now are paying super high interest rates.
Right.
So if you face large unexpected medical expenses you can't pay or you're slowly paying them off, it may make sense to take out a 401k loan to wipe out this debt. Let me give you a tip. Call the company you owe the funds to and ask them, if I came up with a large sum of money right now, what would you accept to close this bill out?
I did this years ago and it worked.
It does.
Yeah.
And if you have to, negotiate it down. Remember, most medical bills never get paid. So most of the time, you're in control of what you pay and what you don't.
Really good tip there. All right, let's move on to the third reason that you want to pull. You would, when it makes sense to pull money from your 401k.
This is probably the one where it makes the most sense, and that is to prevent bankruptcy or foreclosure.
Uh-huh.
As a last result, a 401k loan can help temporarily bridge a financial hardship. Recently, someone in our neighborhood had fallen behind on their mortgage due to huge increase in all the cost,
Sure.
inflation, groceries, utilities. Also, the spouse had just been downsized in their job, so their income was cut back substantially. They ended up borrowing from their 401k just to pay the past due on their mortgage.
Why didn't they just do a 401k hardship withdrawal?
Well, here's the scenario. They could have done a hardship, but rules state that the money withdrawn has to equal the amount of the dire
Oh,
need.
okay.
So borrowing allowed them to get a little extra so they had breathing room moving forward.
Makes sense. And they don't get stuck back in the same cycle.
You're
Okay.
exactly right.
All right, we're going to drop a video that we did on how to qualify for a 401k hardship withdrawal. So if you're interested in finding out if you qualify and the risks, because a hardship withdrawal is very different than a loan,
It
the
is.
link is going to be in the description below. All right, Brian, anything else you want to mention before we wrap up?
Yeah. A word of warning about taking 401k loans because there are some things out of your control
Yeah.
and that could cost you a lot more in the long run, right? If you fail to repay the 401k loan within that specified time frame, you may face substantial taxes and penalties. This can significantly erode the amount available for your retirement, as well as create an additional financial burden.
If you pay off the loan during the specified time frame, though, you're not going to have to pay any penalties, correct?
Correct. And you won't have to pay taxes either, as the loan was paid off. It's not a distribution if you pay it off. But
Okay.
that's the key to this. You have to make sure that you can pay off the loan in that time frame.
Right.
This leads me to a second factor to be aware of, and one you can't control. And that is, what happens if you have to repay the loan faster than anticipated?
Yeah, job loss,
Job
layoff.
loss. This could happen in the event of job loss, or if you move jobs and transition to a new employer.
Sure.
In the case of a job loss, sometimes you have no control over this. And the last thing is missing out on potential growth, and the compounding of the borrowing amount can be massive, especially if you borrow in a down market and the market goes up during the time frame you're paying back that money.
Sure.
When this happens, it eats away at your retirement savings and faster than you may think.
All right. Well, there you have it. I hope this video has been helpful. If you like the content, hit that like button, help us grow this channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Brian and I put out videos on the daily that help you make the best decisions for your financial future. And also do go check out that link about 401k hardship withdrawal rules. Wow, that is a mouthful, but the link's going to be in the description. All right, Brian, as always, thank you for your time today. And thanks to everyone who watched.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.